Ah.
I hit it, so...
Oh.
Hi, everybody! Welcome to MangaPod!
Giggity.
We're
Giggity.
all of us are either eating or drinking or playing Monster Hunter.
Wait a minute, I didn't realize we were starting right now. Let me
I said, should I hit it? I'm gonna hit it! And you were like... And then you looked at the camera like you were prepared. I didn't know what you want me to do. I'm okay. I don't regret anything. Surprise!
Regrets. Hello, MangaPod viewers.
Welcome
I've now saved, and I'm now pressing the power button.
You're doing better than the boys did with Pokemon last week.
Right? I think so.
I think you're doing
If you were playing
fantastic.
Pokemon, though, you could just close the 3DS and put it to the side.
See, Monster Hunter is way better than Pokemon, though.
Welcome to MangaPod, where we talk about manga after we have read all or part of it, and we discuss it with friendship, love, and spoilers. Wow. Daza does not look happy, but we're gonna keep trucking along until he smiles.
Yuku's still just a circle for me.
He's a blob. He's an orange blob that's chin moves because he's eating, we think.
That's a good-looking blob, I must say.
What a great blob. Oh, Dodger, can you... We are if you've never joined us before, we are the most professional of podcasts. Dodger, can you tilt your camera up just a little bit so that your forehead is in the shot?
Like this?
Yes.
Is that what you need?
You did it perfectly.
I know. I'm getting like green Dodger right now.
Oh yeah, you are also very green.
It's more like yellow Dodger.
I think it's because the blue.
Wait,
the
hold
screen.
on. I know how to fix this. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I can fix this.
As she fixes it, oh look at little Watson right there. Oh, she's so
See, I prefer
cute.
this guest right here.
Watson, Watson, how do you feel about Magi?
Oh,
She's gone. We lost her. But
What's a chick?
yes, MangaPod is the most professional of podcasts that you shall ever view. I promise.
That is the truth.
Yes.
Asterisk, we do not guarantee professionalism in this podcast.
Asterisk, that is a complete lie. So,
Oh,
no.
come on, Watson. Just be cute. Be cute for like 5 seconds.
Never.
No.
Cats
What?
don't do what you want them to do.
Yeah, basically. She's still sitting there being all cute.
I know.
Oh my golly. Oh my golly. Okay, I'm just gonna stare at your cat. What's going on? She's
Get
so
out of here.
cute. No. If you never joined us before, how we like to start off MangaPod is we give you a super short spoiler-free summary of the manga that we have read, and then we give you our not first impressions, but our
Impressions.
We give you our impressions and also whether or not we recommend the manga, so that before you go and read it, you won't waste your time. In case it's one that we think is just a bunch of poop load, then, we won't be sending you to read a bunch of poop.
I dream of the day. I dream of the day that we read a manga where we're like, all right, so what was everybody's first impressions? And everybody's like, this was the worst piece of crap I've ever read in my life. And people are like, oh, well, I guess I don't need to watch this manga.
I think it would be the opposite. I think people would like...
Everybody would stay.
that's
We'd
a
have the
really
highest viewing we've ever had. Be like 7,000 million trillion viewers.
Yes. Good. More.
That's what I want. I want that many.
7,000 million trillion.
We gotta step up our game, you guys.
I know, right?
But yeah, so if you are in the chat or watching this VOD on my channel, then do beware that this is going to be full of spoilers, especially since we read Magi, chapters 49 through 96. This is part 2 of us discussing Magi. So if you've not even read the first part, you're just going to get all sorts of ruined for you. So after we read the description and then give our impression, then you can go if you would like to avoid spoilers. If not, feel free to stay and chat with us. We love having you here and all of our viewers in the chat. You are wonderful.
Also, if you have read the first part of Magi, but you're like, wait, but I want to hear what you guys thought about Magi, it's on youtube.com/HappiLeeErin, where all of the VODs of our podcast are. So
yes.
You can go watch the first part and then watch this part later, because it will also be on youtube.com.
Oh!
I know.
That's magic.
It's crazy.
Speaking of magic, Daza. Oh, I broke him.
Oh no, what happened to you?
I'm okay, I'm just eating. Okay.
Daza, how are you supposed to... Give the description while you're eating. It's gonna be so
I was just gonna say that if you could be chewing through the description.
Yes.
Consider it done. The story is about the flow of fate and the battle to keep the world on the right path. Aladdin is a boy who was set out to explore the world after being trapped in a room most of his life. And his best friend is a flute. With a digit named Hugo. Soon enough, Aladdin discovers he's a Magi, a magician who chooses kings, and is soon to choose kings who follow the righteous path, battling against those who want to destroy fate. Follow his adventures as he meets others from 1001 Nights, like Ali Baba and Sinbad, and fights to keep the balance of the world in check.
Well,
Whoa!
the beginning of that was just so good.
Oh God, when you choked, I think it was my favorite thing that's happened on Manga.
Oh yeah, dying Daza,
I
that's
felt bad for
fantastic.
you when you choked.
Hashtag dying Daza.
Hashtag dying Daza. Hashtag MangaPod. Hashtag best podcast ever.
Professionalism.
Hashtag professional
No,
podcast.
not hashtag, but just professionalism at the end there. So yes, that is... Oh, JK, no, not yet. So let's give our recommendations and impressions about it, guys, before we send those who do not want to be spoiled away.
Our impressions of part 2?
Of Magi as a whole, in case somebody is here has not read it. Let's just say
As
that.
a whole.
Just feel like so far, like, do you still...
On a whole, it's good.
Yeah.
As something different to say other than it's good, when right after we were done with the first Magi Manga Pod, I immediately read all the way up to chapter 100 because I loved it so much. So I recommend it, and it's continued to be good to me. So
I agree. I did not read up to that point, but I have been looking forward to reading more Magi since we first did our first manga pod, and being a fan of the anime, I was just really excited to read the manga and just be even more impressed with it and fall even more in love with the fantastic characters and the magical world that is written incredibly well with a lot of depth and stuff. So I recommend it as well.
Yeah, Magi is a shonen series, but it's a very unique shonen series. Like it has a lot of the cliche character types, but it's set in a type of world, a type of area, type of, I guess, story, like the whole Arabian Nights, that you don't really find too often in anime. I don't think there... Is there even? I don't even know. Maybe there is.
Is there what?
Some, like, really unknown, like, Arabian Nights type of setting.
Oh, I don't know. I don't
As
think...
an anime, there probably is.
If there is
or another
one, I don't
anime or
think
manga
it's-
that even just like pulls very heavily from Arabic culture at all.
I don't know.
And they do a very good job at
I was
it.
gonna say, even if there is, I don't know, because Magi does it super intelligently too. They are very
They
intelligent.
explain a lot of things.
And the way they explain it is like very smart without, and like you're able to understand it without having to put in too much effort to understand it. But it's also very intelligent. It's great. It's fantastic. So you should go read it before you.
It's
watch
got a
this.
good world.
It's fantastic.
There we go. It's got a good
Yes.
world.
It's great. So, we all recommend it. That is as spoiler-free as this manga pod is going to be, people. So this is
Yeah.
your last warning.
Word.
Word.
Out.
Okay, guys, let's dive in. Or does anybody want to recap really quick? Since there was a lot that
Oh,
happened
God.
right before. We met Aladdin. Oh! I don't know who got that.
I think you were last there. I think.
I started
Aaron was last,
talking.
yeah.
Fine, whatever.
We'll all jump in as we remember things.
Yeah, so we are introduced to Aladdin, who is a short little man who has a djinn inside of a flute who comes out to help him do things. We find out that Aladdin, do we find out in this part that Aladdin is the Magi?
No, we knew. I think in the first part we knew.
We
Yeah.
found the last part. Yeah.
So we're introduced to Aladdin and Ali Baba, who don't know each other and then become really good friends as they conquer a dungeon, which is, I can't remember exactly, it's like a magical world put by a Magi.
So
Does anybody know what a dungeon is?
Do we know where the dungeons come from? I don't think
Yeah,
we
They
know.
come
they
from
explained it.
Magi.
Do we?
They did explain it, yeah.
Is that
Like,
not? But yeah.
But it was so much dialogue that I
So much dialogue. But yeah,
went
so
through it really quick.
The dungeons pop up randomly, and every dungeon is inhabited and controlled by a djinn.
Yeah.
So
which is kind of like a genie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them as well.
And so there's a lot of them, and then if you go in and conquer it, then and the djinn deems you worthy. That's how you conquer it. The djinn deems you worthy, and then goes into some sort of vessel, and you get they lend you their power. And so we met them, and then they split up and went on their own little adventures. And Aladdin learned more about the Rook. Is that how you say it? The Rook, which are basically the flow of life and how all that works, kind of Lion King-y with the life. And Alibaba went back to his circle, Mufasa. And Alibaba went back to his home kingdom, where he is actually a prince, but he grew up in the slums because his mom was a prostitute. And there, he was really good friends with a guy named Kasim. And then when Aladdin, and there's also a wonderful badass character named Moriana, who was introduced at the beginning. And she was a slave, and then Aladdin and Alibaba freed her. And she was going towards her hometown, and then she met up with Aladdin again. And then they met up with Alibaba in Alibaba's kingdom, place, thing, country. Sorry. I got too into it. And so
so happy.
They also meet Sinbad, who's just badass and super powerful.
He's Sinbad.
He's Sinbad. He's great.
He's dope.
And they go to Alibaba, and they find out that Alibaba is leading something called the Fog Troop, not the Frog Troop, which when they did the first MangaPod, I accidentally called it the Frog Troop, but it's the Fog Troop. And they're leading a rebellion against the current king, because the current king is a very, very bad man, and the society is terrible, everybody's poor and dying and diseased, and the royal people are living like royals and da-di-da-di-da. And then we left off when another Magi named Jadal suddenly appeared and started trying to kill Alibaba. And that's kind of where we left off. And then Ugo, the djinn, he came out and started going haywire and crazy. And
he was fighting Jadal.
That's where we left off. So
we kind of left off in the middle of the fight with Jadal and Ugo, which finishes up in this part, the second part.
Finished up early on. Yeah. Let's talk about that, actually. Let's talk about Ugo. Yeah, that fight. Let's talk about it. So we had the princess from Ko, which Ko Empire is a big empire that is kind of taking, like, annexing smaller countries. And they also have very dark people behind it. And, like, it's kind of the rival, or, like, the antagonist country.
By dark, Erin means mean, not skin color dark.
Yes.
It's true. It's portrayed as like evil.
Yeah.
But you can tell that it's gonna turn into one of those morally gray sort of situations where like we don't know the full story, but we just know that they are very aggressive about taking over different areas. Mm-hmm. So
they're England.
They're England.
I actually read that they are supposed to be very similar to China, like ancient China.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense. What about the Mongolians? They could be like Mongolians.
Their clothes are modeled after ancient China, too.
Yeah.
Are they Mongolians?
Is it going to turn into Mulan?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You just have Sinbad leading them all, and they start singing "Make a Man Out of You."
Oh,
Sinbad,
that's all I want.
God, that would be amazing. Somebody make that.
It's got to be Morgana who sings it.
Oh, that would be so great.
That
would be amazing.
As long as she does the dance.
Oh, I loved her dance. Yeah, she's so great. Yeah, let's talk about the fight, like where we left off and like where it picks up. What are you guys' opinions on how that fight kind of wrapped up and everything, that catalyst with that?
Well, Jadal got owned. That's a fact. He would have died. Like even after the co-princess appeared and then they started healing him and everything, like. Afterwards, his bones were like still crushed. Even after that dude used all of his vessel, like his bones were still crushed and he wasn't healed all the way. Yeah. So Ugo did some pretty crazy stuff to him that completely destroyed him. So
well, he like powered that up and then just like punched him, and every single other person flew away. And it's just you think about what the power of that fist and being directly between that fist and the hard ground. It's like
Yeah, Sinbad kind of saved everybody. He's like, everybody, get out of here. Yeah, everybody got away. Nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
Is that at the end of that battle is when Aladdin passes out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Aladdin passes out already, like way after a little bit after the battle, like after everybody's
Oh
already.
yeah, he passes out.
Yeah, everybody's being healed and everything, but Aladdin, he kind of since he thought Ugo was gone, he went away and he started giving his Magoi to him, and he pretty much exhausted all the Magoi around him.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then the flute was like constantly sucking his Magoi out, and they were like, "Oh God, get the flute away from him!"
Yeah. And then the star symbol disappeared.
The star was gone.
Yeah. I like when the princess appeared and like she did her whole thing, killed Ugo or like destroyed him, put a hole in him basically. For some reason when I watched the anime, he didn't die, right? Did he die?
He didn't die. His physical form was just defeated. I think that's.
He was
that's what I got from it.
he was summoned by Ugo, just like his spirit summoned by Ugo. His body was alive. Yeah.
No, Ugo. I mean.
But Ugo.
Oh, Ugo. No, Ugo.
He lives. It's just his head is the rest of his
Hey,
body.
he lives on in the flow, isn't it?
I was gonna say, I think that he's become just energy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
He's
gone. His body disappeared already, and he only had his head left, which was the rest of the energy he had left to summon Aladdin.
Yeah.
To give the wisdom of Solomon to him, and that's kind of what it did.
And then when I saw that in the anime, for some reason it didn't click. Like I kept thinking that Ugo was coming back. I don't know why, but I was just
wanted him back.
When is he gonna come back? When is he gonna come back? When's Ugo gonna come back? I don't understand where he is. And then I was reading in the manga, and Ugo said the line about "we won't meet again." I just went,
"Oh."
No, that's what I wanted at all.
I was so sad when I read that. I was like, Ugo, you're like the best. You've been like his BFF. Where are you going? I was so sad. But
really sad.
Yeah.
Because then, and that whole because Ugo left, and then Kasim's death. Let's talk about Kasim's death. Let's jump to that. Your guys' thoughts on Kasim.
Like when he stabbed himself and turned into the demon, or like when Alibaba already saved him?
When Alibaba went into like the monster's stomach.
That was so sad. Oh my gosh, man.
I was getting Evangelion vibes through that.
Yeah, that's how
I was
felt.
feeling like it was like Shinji going to Rei to try to pull her out. I was just like, I need that music in the background.
That soundtrack. I remember, I keep going back to the anime, but I watched in the anime and I sobbed. And I was like, okay, I know it's happening. I know it's coming. Won't cry as hard. And I just sat there on my phone reading and just crying to myself last night in my bed. Just like, oh, it's so sad. Because it's just so well written, and the emotions between the two, like the dynamic between the two, just showing that Kasim has this jealousy that he can't get over.
You literally can't let go of it.
He cannot let go of it. And then you have Alibaba, who's so forgiving and so good, even though he had the circumstances where he could have become horrible. And like you just feel from both sides, you feel those emotions, and then they clash, and it's just this epic clash of emotions. And
it was really cool that Aladdin set up that situation, because it was the Rook talking to each other pretty much, and that way you could not have hidden anything. It was just like complete pure emotions from both sides, which was really cool, because it was sad how Kasim at the end said like, "Oh, it's too bad that we couldn't kind of resolve this before." It was lack of communication in a way, that it ended up this way, which made it even more sad.
And the build up to that fight was so long that like you got to see this huge progression of like realizing, oh, he used to be like he used to be in a way where you could understand. Like Kasim used to have all of this anger that was justified, and now it's turned into something really ugly. And like I thought that was really sad. Like we stayed with that storyline and that arc long enough that by the end of it you were like, no, Kasim, can't you just like become who you were? Like, it's so sad. Like, it was just
And like there's like especially like shonen, there's this typical trope where the main characters save that person who's fallen into darkness. Like they are able to pull them back. And like Ali Bobby
Coming soon to a store near you.
Alibaba did that, but Kasim still died. And that part I think is what really got me, because you're expecting, even when Alibaba saves him, you're like, oh, he'll bring him back to life. And it's not what happened. But then you get the whole redemption part of that just really drives home the point that the writing was just really good during that entire thing.
Yeah. And even though it was so cliched, the whole thing where Alibaba was like going to attack him and he would see Kasim in the monster and he was like, can't. I was like, no!
Like, come on!
Sorry, just kill him.
He was so close. He broke through the whole freaking demon, and then like he saw Kasim was like Alibaba. You know?
Yeah, and then he's just like, no.
He looked freaking scary though. All right, maybe that's why he jumped back. I don't know.
He was actually terrified of him. It's like, oh, you got ugly, dude. It's terrifying. Yeah, the whole Kasim thing was just, but it also had the uplifting, happy part to it when Aladdin
how he became
had all the Rook and he just went back.
He went back to the Rook, yeah.
And then Aladdin said the line about even when people die, they're still watching over us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he still uses them in battle, like the Rook that he summons and stuff. Like they're still with him in a way.
In that scene when he brought back the family, I was just like, this is the Lion King again.
I thought
like,
it was the Lion King. The Lion King.
I was just like looking up. I'm just like, this is definitely the Lion King.
This is the circle of life.
Circle of life.
Right now.
Oh, it's so. I love that panel when you know how he showed the father, right? And the father looked at his two sons, the previous king,
Yeah.
And he's just like looks so disappointed at him, and then that's it. Like I kind of wanted him to kind of have like a whole page for that, but like having that as a one panel thing when the dad just kind of looked at him and the kids were just like,
yeah.
It was priceless. It was so good.
Dude, can we talk about how dope it was when they were like, right, so who's gonna be the next king? And Alibaba was like, there isn't gonna be a king. Democracy, bitches. I was like, whoa! I did not see that coming at all. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, no, I totally thought that Alibaba was gonna become king.
Me too! I was totally expecting that, and I loved, like he went in there, and he was like, I don't need to fight you guys. You should step down. No, but seriously, you should step down. And he's like, what? I'm not gonna, what? And then by the end of it, he's just like, okay, fine, alright,
Like,
fine.
don't hurt me.
Yeah. And I just loved that's what that outcome was. Like, all of you people haven't had a say, so we're going to employ a government where you have a say.
That is really cool because that's just one of those things that you would not expect.
Yeah.
Like I know I bring up I bring up the whole shonen thing when we talk about shonen manga a lot, but like I've read so many shonen that you in a way you kind of know what's coming, you know, and in a way you're like, okay, he's gonna become king, even though Sinbad, he thought like maybe he's not ready, but it turns out he's actually really ready, super ready. But no, he's just like, I'm not a king. This is democracy. You guys like built this country. You guys can rule this country altogether. It's it was very surprising the first time I watched that.
Yeah.
I saw that in the anime before I read this in the manga, but it was still good in the manga.
That was something.
Daisy.
I was gonna say, I was really annoyed that they were like, okay, we've got the Republic thing and everything, it's all done, and they start fighting again. I'm just like, no, I want more Republic. I want more democracy. I want more politics. Give me more politics.
Well, that was because Kasim brought in all the negative route, and went all into their negative emotions.
I know, but I wanted politics.
They had more politics later on, though.
Yes.
They didn't they? Like Sinbad.
Oh, they did kind of. They did kind of.
Yeah, it wasn't nearly.
It wasn't like the high level. Oh, we're turning this from monarchy to republic.
Right.
No, they moved on to the whole they went to Syndria.
Syndria.
Yeah.
Syndria's fucking weird.
I know.
It is a weird place. I was rereading those parts and I was like, Syndria's weird.
They cut up the sea monster and they're like, festival
I didn't expect that either until he started like cutting like after he cut the head off that giant monster. When he like cut it the second time, I was just like, oh man, I know what's coming.
I know what's happening.
He's totally filleting that fish.
See, I had a huge Toriko vibe at that scene. I was just like, am I reading Toriko or am I reading Magi?
It's so Toriko, it's not even
It
funny.
is. Yeah.
I think there's like an exact scene like that in Toriko. At least 10 times.
Yeah.
Playing all that fish.
I loved that after being on Syndria for a while, Aladdin got like really fat.
Oh my god, can we talk about that? Made me laugh so hard.
I was like, you're so rad.
And
Both of them
when
got
they bring
really fat.
Alibaba in, and he just like runs up and you're like, oh, it's Alibaba, and he's just so fat.
It's so funny because he starts like getting all in this like epic conversation with Sinbad, and he's saying all these inspirational things, right? And then like Sinbad completely just like, you know, I can't take anything you're saying seriously.
And then the start of the next chapter is run.
Yeah.
So they ran for a couple of weeks. This is a few weeks later. There's like another couple of weeks.
And Aladdin is still kind of obese.
It's like,
Yeah.
I'm
So much thinner. And then they explain it away as, oh, Aladdin, you use so much of your Magoi that you're suddenly thin again.
Yeah, it was like, oh, you were fat because you weren't using your Magoi. And I was like, what? Bullshit. That makes no sense.
But it's one of those things that you can let pass because it's just, they kind of talked about that a little bit back when they first conquered the first dungeon. You know, how he was hungry, so he couldn't use his Magoi.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
So that kind of makes sense, but they kind of took it way off and over-exaggerated, but it's for the comedy purposes, which was funny.
Oh, it was so funny. It was so unexpected. That wasn't in the anime, was it?
I haven't even started season 2 yet, so.
Oh, it's not in season 2. I can
Then
tell you
it's-
that. But I did not remember that being in the anime, so it just hit me. I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. But yeah, that whole country is a nice, interesting, like, twist that I wasn't expecting them to go there. But it's really weird, but it's a very interesting, such a different way of life from Balbad, or whatever that place was called.
And it's also it also feels so late in the manga, and this isn't a bad thing, but it feels so late in the manga to be having the let's train you how to use your powers stuff, which we finally got some of in this section. I was like, wow, you waited a while. Like, we had a couple of pretty, like, intense arcs before we wound up with the, hey, maybe you guys should learn how to use your stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like, oh.
Maybe you should.
It still felt like, even though it was, like, way later than we're used to, it still felt, like, really natural, like, the flow and the pacing of it when they brought it up. I really like the 8 generals that they introduced. I love them so much. I absolutely adore when the prince and the princess come back from Ko, and the princess is really pissed because she was defiled by Sinbad.
Amazing.
And it becomes this huge, serious thing about how all the generals are like, Sinbad, you've done this before. Like, we do not trust you.
I've got to stop doing this. He's like, no, I didn't do it this time.
My favorite part where he's like, okay, that happened before, but I swear this time it wasn't me. That whole thing, I love. That was just really funny. It was really funny, but it was also serious because they're like, if I did do this, I fucked up so much. Like, it's so bad. If I did this, it's so bad.
Like, that was funny and all, but they spent a little bit too much time on that, I gotta say.
did.
Because it doesn't... It was... That was... The whole point of that was for a reason for that princess to come to Syndria. That was the whole point of that whole situation.
Yeah.
And it... What was it, like, two chapters? Was it more than 2 chapters? It was a while.
Like 2.5.
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
So that was the only thing that annoyed me. It was funny for like I guess the first like half of the chapter, but then I was kind of like, oh, they're still going with this. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And then they didn't really have a reason. So.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. It did drag on a little bit. I
loved that the way that it was all resolved was that one chick being like, oh, I'll just reanimate what happened by putting blood into my water people. And have them act out the scene.
And then it ended up being like, it did have a huge cop out where it ended up being like her one guard person advisor. And they were like, oh, NBD, let's just move on. I was like, what?
It was stupid because they started one of the chapters off with like his background story, like it's like epic, like it's gonna start this whole new arc, but then it ends off with him just like crying and the prince is just like holding him in the arm, like, oh, you're a good person, like.
I love how his stewardess were like, he was like, oh yeah, they're not gonna betray me or anything, and they're just like, oh yeah, he did it.
Yeah, it was so easy.
And he's just like, what? It's like, we don't serve you, we serve the princess.
Yeah. Obviously.
I like to think that that the mangaka, the editor, came back and was like, you've spent way too long on this. You can't spend any more time. You need to just cut it off. And the mangaka was
But
like,
I have like a whole 10
I have 5 more chapters of this. And he's like, nope. Just get done. But we did get, Hakuru is introduced. What are you guys' thoughts on him? Because he's also a new character that we haven't, I don't think we've seen him at all yet, right?
Hakuru? I don't think so.
He wasn't in the previous arc. We saw his sister, but we did not see him. So what are your guys' thoughts on his whole deal?
He's the prince, isn't he? I get confused the name.
The prince with the scar.
With the scar.
Yeah. They said he looks like someone else. And
You think the scar is there to disguise himself?
No, well, kind of, but I also think that he looks a little bit like Morgana.
I thought the same thing.
I had the same eyes and everything.
Wait,
I'm just looking at them, I'm just like...
I've never thought that
I didn't
before.
think about that either.
That's the first thing I thought when they said, like, oh, they look like somebody else,
Wait,
else.
but
And then,
who
the
thought
funny
that?
thing is, Morgana was like in another panel, really close by that.
Yeah,
That
and that also seemed like it was her as well by the direction about they were like focusing the attention on her. It was Alibaba that said it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Huh. I had never thought about
Interesting.
that. That is very interesting.
I think there's going to be something going down with that, which is going to be
And maybe it has something to do with that scar in his face as well. We got
That was,
we got a little bit of a
little bit of
flashback.
a flash.
So I don't know. There's
A flash.
a flash. It's not even a flashback. It was a flash.
We had another like super tropey thing happen with him too, with the whole like I'm just useless. Everybody else always has to help me.
Oh my!
You might
breaks
as
down.
well just leave me behind. And I'm like, I hate it when characters do this, but I still find him really interesting because of his whole like, yes, I'm a prince, but I kind of want them to burn. So let's figure this out. I'm like, oh,
That part when he like was really
surprised
smiley.
me.
It's really smiley, and then the next page, he's super serious and telling Sinbad that he's lying. I was like, oh,
I know.
what?
Yeah, because I mean, he's like, look, let's cut to the chase. My empire is made up of assholes, so.
Like, I want them.
It's true.
Yeah, but
It's
his
true.
crybaby moment in the dungeon at the end, like for me it was all right. I usually hate crybaby characters, but for me it was kind of justified because they kind of played it off as a joke because they didn't play it off as him just like crying, oh, I'm useless. Oh, no. They played it off as him like acting like a little baby, like, oh, I'm useless. You guys suck. Like the Jin is like saying something. He's like, oh, get out of here, you perv. You know? Like it was played off a little bit differently than you would expect.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why it didn't bug me because I thought it was super funny and unique in how they handled it, where he just got super. He was throwing.
They didn't make him lame. It didn't make him lame. It just made him be like little like. It's like he has a little kid characteristics to him. He
showed so much personality in that one temper tantrum. Like I was
like dude, he jumped on everybody. He called like a line of this like a little kid, like Alibaba, like this, like just unskilled person, unsmart person, and
he's like, you're so irresponsible. Get away from me. I don't want to hear anything from you.
Yeah. And it was, I mean, it was also just like it was a necessary thing to have happen because up until that point, he was very open about the fact that he thought that Alibaba was just like a waste of space.
Yeah.
And like, you know, you got to have this moment where he was acting like a child and Alibaba was like, yo, dude, calm your tits. Like, shit. Like, I feel like they had like a moment there.
Yeah.
It was good.
I liked how, they're handling Alibaba hating Ko, like because of like we're getting revenge on Ko, and there was so much they could have done with Alibaba's character and showing the hatred.
That is so cool. What was that?
Sorry.
That
That
Dude,
was my
man.
ringtone.
That was so cool.
Hold on, I have to get it.
Okay, Daz will be back. But I really liked how they handled. He's back. Oh,
Oh, bye.
bye. I like how
Bye-bye.
they handled the whole thing with Alibaba and Hakuryu because Alibaba could have been such a dick and could have held such resentment, but he was very mature about it, and that just shows so much about Alibaba's character, about how forgiving and just like Cassim was talking about, like who Alibaba is, just that pure, amazing kind of person that everybody wants to look up to, and just seeing him say, I don't feel that way towards you, and just being so mature, just said a lot about his character, and just made me like love him even more. I love Alibaba.
Alibaba's annoying me a little bit, I have to
Oh,
say.
really?
He's
I
too
was-
nice.
I was about to say, I feel like he was very dynamic at the beginning, and he's gotten a little boring.
Yeah, right now it's
can see that.
so expected. Like yeah, I'm not mad at you. It's not like you
It's
did
okay.
anything. Like
I'm like, oh.
So you guys, would you prefer if he had?
I
No,
want him to have
I
a
didn't-
little bit more emotion or more
Okay.
depth to
More
his
depth of
reasoning.
emotion.
Not just
I
like,
can
oh,
see
it wasn't
that.
you that did
I
it
think, like-
specifically.
I think it's because at the beginning, and I mean, obviously he's had a lot of character growth, but at the beginning, you know, he wasn't just like, he was still really trying to figure stuff out and just, you know, had all of these ambitions that seemed like kind of selfish, and he seemed like there was a lot going on in there.
Yeah.
And now that we've had pretty much his entire story bared to us, and we know what's going on and we know where he is and all of this stuff, I feel like he's become a little bit one note. Like he's either being super brave or super cool or super
Or
nice,
super
you know.
lame.
He has gotten stale.
haven't-
I can
yeah.
see that. Yeah.
Like I haven't seen you just like be a dick to somebody in a while. Like you were definitely kind of dickish at the beginning, and I haven't
Yeah.
seen any of that. So, yeah.
I can see
I
that. Now
miss-
that you guys are saying that, yeah. Like yeah, because when he
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
course.
Of course, Dad. Yeah.
I don't know what we're talking about.
I figured. Oh, Aaron.
Oh,
You should have just
Aaron.
jumped. You should have just jumped in with some random fact about the manga. That would have been better.
Did you know that Disney also made something called Aladdin, and it has a genie in it by Robin Williams?
Whoa.
What?
Robin
Fun
Williams?
fact of the day:
And there was 2 sequels after that. Oh.
the first sequel
Return of
sucked.
Jafar.
The Jafar one was so good.
What was the third one with Aladdin's dad? I watched that
That's and the
so
King of
much.
Thieves.
Yes,
I haven't
watched
seen
that.
it in so long. That was
Oh,
like that's one of my
okay.
favorite Disney films.
Mine
The third
too.
one had good songs. Third one
Yes,
had
it
songs in
did.
it. I was like,
But Lion King will always be the best.
Lion King is the
Comment.
number one Disney film.
I have like 2 Lion King VHSs in the background.
I have
Dude.
Lion King on DVD, Blu-ray, 3D, VHS, and I have 1.5, and 1.5 is terrible, but I had dedication to that series.
I remember when 1.5 came out, I was so happy and so excited until I watched it, and I was just like, this is not.
This is
like-
not terrible. Lion King number 2, Simba's Pride had really good songs too.
Oh, Simba's Pride was great.
Yeah, but anyway, Magi.
One of Us was like one of the best songs.
Oh God, right?
Oh.
So good. There are so many people at work that are like, "Why would you ever watch Lion King number 2, Simba's Pride?" Like that's so.
That's a
dumb.
good.
like-
That's a.
Are you kidding me? It's not one of us is
What?
amazing. Anyway,
That's a great film.
right?
Or Kovu.
Your people at work don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, why do they have to do that to Kovu? Just because Car is his father. Spoiler.
In case you haven't watched Lion King, Simba's Pride yet.
Thanks.
God damn it, Yoku.
I know, like, who knows? There's maybe like some young person here who's like 13 has never heard of Lion King even. There's
You
people
need to
like that.
stop watching this podcast and go watch Lion King.
Your
You'll be-
parents
Never heard of Lion
had
King.
child abuse
You're
against
wrong.
you for not showing you
You're-
the Lion King. Child abuse.
Your child. Wow.
We got family services.
What do you guys think?
Deception.
Bring disgrace.
For
Every single time
shame.
I try to get the podcast back on target, Yoku starts talking about
can't.
that song.
I just have
and I
that
get
song in my head
distracted.
now.
Ugh. Oh
Okay,
no! What happened? We lost Dodger.
Anyway, Magi.
What did you guys think about Zagan?
What?
What did you guys think about Zagan?
Who's Zagan?
He's the Jin.
The Jin in the new
That
dungeon.
weird dude. That really
Dude,
weird.
he's mega weird. But like,
Super weird.
Oh, the one that's
Something-
pregnant. Yeah, he's
No, that's Amon.
Oh God, they got weird names. I'm sorry.
about
I
pregnant.
So
want.
confusing.
I want. Oh gosh, I want Prince Boy to get that Jin into something. I want that.
Mm-hmm. That'd be great. I want that too. Cause then Hakuru, cause you can kind of see it already with Zagan showing more interest in him in a way. Like if you notice, like he talks to Hakuru more than
like-
he's shown
like
attention to the other
Pokes at him
guys.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like the weakest of you all, and just kind of keeps poking at him. Yeah.
That dummy with the scar, and he just starts crying. He's like, oh,
Yeah, I love it. He's
crying.
like, oh, I didn't actually mean to push you this far.
Oh, I didn't think I'd make you cry. It was like, you're such a bitch. And then, oh, it was so messed up when they were like walking through the dungeon, and they're like, wow, all of the inhabitants of this dungeon are really cute. And then they go in that room, and he's like, yes, we feed off of people and turn them into trees, and then they sprout my people. And I was like, no, so messed up.
So screwed up. Yes, I agree. That was incredibly screwed up. He is super weird.
That's why he has to stick around.
Yes, he has.
Right?
I would think so. His whole thing about not wanting to like have what a conqueror chain name of whatever. That's what I have to say about that. Your face. Yeah. But yeah, that whole thing about him hating humans is interesting, considering a Jin's whole purpose really is to name a whatever, something like that. Whatever Amon said.
Name a thing and do stuff.
By the way, guys,
Am I right?
Amon is pregnant.
What?
That
That made me laugh so hard. I was so confused.
hard I've ever seen in manga in a very long time.
I love that Alibaba's face after he said that was a mix of like the comic shock face and a mix of the actual dramatic shock face. Like,
It
the
was
manga
so
character.
good.
Like,
He's like, one more thing, Aladdin, because I won't be able to see you for a while. I'm pregnant.
and they had his giant belt.
It's funny because they drew him. They drew him in a really detailed thing, but then they drew him in complete just. It was like one of those clueless moments, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was funny. That was so
I
funny.
did laugh. Yeah.
That was really funny.
Uh-huh.
So I wouldn't say.
Jazza, go on.
So he's pregnant?
I just laughed. It was just like, what?
Why?
What?
Ooh, how?
Suspension of disbelief. You know, Jin might not have gender.
Well,
True.
Well,
Just
okay.
asexual.
I think I already just suspended my disbelief when they had magic, djinns, fighting
about
demon
Magic
things.
is real.
What about that one Jin from the beginning that had like those pierced nipples?
Listen,
Uh-huh.
pierced tits are not female only.
There was some.
They
those
are not
are
gender specific.
those are pretty big gender-looking female tits.
Gender looking
Did you
female
not
boobs.
see Did you not see Aladdin's boobs when he was fat?
Hey,
The
those
line
are just
on
like
that.
saggy like man
But
boobs.
the thing
those were
is-
like some luscious basketball.
Lush. Yoku, please keep describing that Jin's boobs. Please go on.
They were like luscious
Lu-
basketballs.
Luscious basketballs.
Luscious. I got nothing.
You're done.
They were as firm as the cement on the ground.
Wow. It's firm, dude.
What kind of boobs do you touch? Because I don't want to touch cement boobs.
I know that would hurt.
What?
Man.
What goes on?
Imagine Aladdin jumps into like some. You just like.
Yeah.
Firm as
Hey, what
cement?
do Australian girls eat?
What?
What? What do straight girls eat? I don't understand what's
I don't know where this is going.
I don't know, what do straight girls eat? Why don't we discuss that?
Oh,
Yeah,
let's just like beanie bags. That's what.
Probably
Beanie bags.
girls eat as well.
What? Your
I
guys'
guess.
descriptions of boobs are just the best thing ever.
I'm trying to like take a
Let's
sport.
just like bean bags. Do you
Beanie
find
bags.
beanie
not-
bags? Is there a difference?
There's
Those
a big
like,
difference.
like sandbags, aren't they? They're like soft. And,
Yeah.
They're like and stuff.
Yeah, that's a got it.
They're nice to sleep on.
Uh-huh.
All right, Magi is
Uh-huh.
about Aladdin and the genies.
Speaking
Beanie
of
bags.
boobs, there is a part where they're talking about where the Prist, what's her name? And they're like they're on the way to the island to go to the dungeon, and Moriana and her, because Aladdin says that there's no way that Prist could be older than them because she doesn't have boobs. That's how he judges age, the size of breasts. And then she gets really sad, and her and Moriana are in the back like, guys don't understand. Why do they look for flabby girls anyway? I don't understand. That was an actual boob moment.
And the source when the meeting with the Aladdin and Alibaba and the sorceress.
Oh yeah, that was another boob.
She was like so nice. Like, oh, it's so nice to meet you. You're the real Magi. Oh.
And then he's just like, "Rah."
Aladdin is the cutest little perv.
Oh,
He was
remember that
super
one time when
tired.
they were introducing all of the 8 generals and that they introduced like that dragon-looking guy with his wife, and Aladdin just jumped at him, and Alibaba's like, "No, you cannot do that to a married woman." That was great as well. So many.
I forgot about that.
I
How many
love
boob
the
moments
fact
was
that
that?
like he's just so unassuming, and yet the manga has him just like obsessed with boobs. It's so great.
To be fair, he's a guy, so
That is true.
yeah.
That's true. I just think it's so funny. I also really liked the water general and the sword general. I really liked their whole competition about how they're like, oh, we'll see whose disciple is better. And then Alibaba and Aladdin are reaching for each other like, no, don't take me away. I love their whole rivalry that's going on there.
Me too.
It's really great. They're cute.
They're all cool. I like all of the generals a lot. I hope we get to explore them.
I agree. I'm really looking forward to learning way more about them, especially the ones we haven't really gotten to see that much, like the dragon one. And
Yeah.
I want to know his backstory. I
He
really
used
do.
to be a person people.
yeah,
It's not.
Like, I want to
Now
see
he's
his
not
whole flashback.
We'll get
And
it
the
eventually.
giant. That giant guy is also really cool.
yeah, the giant dude.
He comes from
Oh.
a place where everybody's a giant. I want to know what place that is.
Yeah,
It's a cool
learn
place.
more about that.
I probably wouldn't want to go to that place. That's scary.
It's like the
I know,
opposite of Middle Earth.
Well, the interesting thing, so going back to when everybody was betraying Sinbad and his pervertedness and alcoholism,
Yes.
there's the part where, like, he actually brings up 2 incredibly serious moments that we haven't seen yet, like when he met Jafar and when he met, what's his name? Masru or whatever, the guy who's teaching Mariana.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
showed, like, when Jafar was trying to attack Sinbad, like, he saw in Jafar's eyes the eyes of an assassin. It's like, I want to know more about that!
I know, dude. I want to know more about
this
them.
stuff.
Wait, Jafar, they were little kids, right?
Yeah,
that
Jafar
kind of
was
looked like they were little kids.
Child, yeah. Both of them were.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to learn more
Aw.
about them. I don't know. How many chapters are out of this right now?
Like 180 something, I think. Wait.
180?
We're not even halfway. Or about halfway.
Yeah.
We're about halfway. So good.
That's not
200.
bad.
There are exactly 200 chapters.
Oh, perfect. So we're
We're almost at 100, so
Yeah.
we're halfway.
So we'll have to do more MangaPods on this, you guys. I don't know if you want to do that, but I feel
Of
like we
course.
should probably do that.
Yes, we're gonna read some more of it.
Do we have to?
Get out, Daza.
I know, man. What the hell, man? What
Wow.
the hell?
What? What?
The hell?
Jace.
Hi.
Those
Golly.
are some
Don't
pretty-
just put your headphones back on.
Who do you think you are?
I am the Australian here.
He has a point, guys. Well, I don't know.
Bullshit.
I think
Well, we need diversity.
I got no comeback for that at all.
I know, but all of us were just like,
No, you're not.
no, you're. What do you mean? What, Dodger? What?
The weirdest stuff is happening on my desk right now.
Wait, can you
Sherlock-
point a camera?
I don't want to because my mail's over there.
Oh,
But
okay.
like Sherlock was here, and then Watson jumped up and attacked his feet. So he was like, "Well, whatever," and walked away. And then she followed him, and then he got into my inbox, like my mail inbox. And then she tried to follow him, and he was like pushing her face away with his butt. It was so weird. I wish I could have shown you.
There's like a whole adventure happening.
It's over now. That's why I was like, "What's happening?
going
What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?" Cats are weird, man.
Cats are super
They're hella weird.
My dogs are just, I don't even know. They're just sleeping.
Look,
Their eyes open.
once Watson learns that she's not gonna starve, she's gonna be the perfect cat. But as of now, the second that there's food around, she's like, "I need this food or I'm going to die." I'm like, "Oh, honey, you're okay. You're okay. You don't need a burger."
She's probably using all her Magoi.
She's
She's
using all
using
of
all
them.
her Magoi. She's too tiny to know how to use it correctly.
That
We
makes
brought it full
sense.
circle. We brought it back to the topic. Good
On
job.
that,
know,
you
that's
know,
a good
on
one.
that note, let's round out and give us final scores.
Actually,
and
can I say one
recommend it.
thing? I just want to say one thing before we start running out. Running out.
Running out.
Right.
We're running out of time, Yoku.
Going back to the whole like arc about the whole Abhmad, you know, the brother of Alibaba,
Oh yeah.
the previous king. I just want to like just make this clear. I hate him so much. Like seriously, during the point when he reigned, and we saw him again later a little bit. But during that point when he reigned and all this stuff of them discussing the whole backstory of how he got that whole paper money in, and then how he like started selling things off as the debt, and then after wanting to sell off the citizens as well as slaves. Seriously, when I was watching that for the first time in the anime, like I haven't like felt such rage for an anime character in like so many years. It was just I was so mad. I hated him so much. Like if I ever make like a top 10 like most hated characters, he'd probably be like top 3. I'm telling you, like I don't know what it was, probably because of all the stupid shit that he was doing, but that got me so bad.
So the
I just
writer
wanted to-
did their job because they got
Yeah.
you to hate, just feel the same empathy that the citizens
Yeah.
were.
Even like when he was talking to
Yeah.
Alibaba and like, oh, this junk, this filth, even though he knew that he captured a dungeon and that gives him a right to be a candidate for king, and still he's just no, this is a junk from the slums, and
Yeah.
it was that just like every time,
Great time, pissing me off. Yeah.
hated him so much.
Dazzler,
Don't.
you were gonna say something?
I was gonna say, when they were doing that, they had like a little like translator, whoever translated it, had like a pay attention to this. It's economics, and I'm just like, yes, yes, you know it's
I love
good.
that.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying like at the beginning. There's so much politics in it, and it's done super well. Like it's done very intelligent and makes so much sense. Like I don't understand economics really, but I thought it was very interesting. Usually I'm not interested in that at all, but I thought they explained it very well and kept it while also keeping it very interesting.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, who wants to go first? Who wants to rate this chapter or this
Can I go
part?
first?
Yeah, hit us, Yoku.
I usually don't go first, but I'm going
Yeah,
first.
you
a
usually
lot.
go last.
I know, but I just like Magi, so I'm fine with going first. Okay, Magi part 2, and I guess I'll include my overall rating altogether with part 1 that we read. Would probably have to be an 8.5 out of 10. I love it, but this last dungeon, it was just a little weird, a little too weird for me. And ever since the end of the Balba arc, it was still good, but it not necessarily went downhill, but it wasn't as good as the Balba arc. So my
Right.
score goes down a little bit. Overall, I would have given it a 9 if it wasn't the little decrease in the whole quality of the story. But I could totally see it picking up again. I need to read more of the manga because there's like 200 chapters out, and there's probably a lot of good stuff. But I gotta say, Balba arc is one of my favorite shonen arcs of all time because it's just so good. it's very well done with all the characters, their setups, like how Cassim was set up, and he didn't like overstay his time because he could have like become a really shitty bad guy at the end, and you just wouldn't give a crap about him towards the end. But in the end, you still kind of cared. It was all very impactful, and he played it off very well, along with all the economics with that, corrupt king, everything else, the development with Alibaba, with Aladdin, with Ugo, with Judal, and finding out about that corrupt people that go and destroy
Al Salman or something.
Al something, I don't know.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff happened in Baldad, and that definitely makes it one of my favorite arcs because of its pacing, characters, and just story and everything. So, like I said, 8.5 so far from chapter 1 to 96. Probably gonna go up higher if there's any more similar arcs like Baldad. Then yeah, it'd definitely go up higher. So definitely check it out. I recommend it all the way, and I can't wait to do more MangaPod on it.
Yeah, I agree. Like, to a T with you, 100%. Like, especially the Baldad arc was just so well crafted in the character development and the pacing. There was things in there that there's stuff you expected to see from a shonen, and there are things that threw you for a loop that you were not expecting to see happen. And the character relationships, especially Cassim and Alibaba, was just so well done, and the way that climax was just so emotional and just really, really well written. And it wasn't like there was no copping out, there was no rising up and emotional and then no payoff. Like, it was complete payoff, and the whole entire thing was very, very moving. And I really like to be moved when I read manga, and so I thought the entire like Baldad arc alone was like an 8.5 for me. I just thought it was amazing. I really, really like it, and I'm super looking forward to reading more and learning more about the other characters and their journeys and adventures and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I agree with all the things. I have nothing new to add. I absolutely love this manga. I'm probably going to do the same thing again, and once we're done today, I'll probably just read a bunch more Magi, but I think that it's great. I love the characters. I love the story. I agree that the Baldad arc was fantastic, and that everything that happened in Syndria is a little bit slower, but I'm still really intrigued by everything, so I'm excited to read more. And 8.5. Boom.
Awesome.
Dodger, that's actually less than what you gave it last time.
Is it? I gave it a 9 last time?
You gave Magi a 9.
What?
Damn.
What did I give it?
A 9.5.
What?
I don't know what I was on. That was wrong.
That was probably because it was like right in the middle of the whole Judal versus Ugo fight, and you're
And
just kind
I
of
had
like,
just watched the anime.
Yeah.
So
I'd give it a 7.5
No, but the
last
thing
time.
is, it doesn't matter if she gave it a little less of a score because that was just rating the first part. This is rating these both parts together, so the score could have went down a little bit.
I'm just saying, that's all.
Stop saying, Daza. Give it
What did
a 4.
Did I give it a? I wonder what
You
I
gave
gave
it. You gave it an 8. You gave it an 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
I give it.
You'll drink to that.
Well, I agree that this part was a lot better than the first part, mainly because I think I recall saying that the first part felt a bit more generic shonen-y, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But I thought this one sort of broke away from that. It was a lot more interesting. I still remember going into it being like, I don't like the setting. I hate the Alibaba kind of Aladdin setting. And then remember coming at it loving the setting. I like all the characters. The stories are great. The monsters are believable when they're in a shonen. The characters are believable with the monsters. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
And I just like the world. I like everything about it. It's really enjoyable. I wanted to keep reading even though my eyes wouldn't let me. And yeah, I'm going to give it a very, very big 8 and say the enjoyment is a 9.
Yay! Can I just mention really quick, super fast, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Dickie earlier while we were talking moved the blanket and like tucked himself in on the pillow.
Aww.
That's adorable.
It was really cute.
People
But-
that are watching the VOD right now, they're probably gonna like rewind.
Go back. It was so cute. He just like started doing this and like moved the blanket back and then just curled around a little bit and then curled. Oh god, it's so cute.
Yeah, that's so cute.
It was so cute. But yes, so 8 and 8.5s. It's pretty gosh darn good manga. So if you haven't read it yet, what are you doing? Go read it. It's fantastic, but it's great.
Yeah, and sorry for spoiler and everything because this
that was their own fault. They got the spoiler.
I'm not sorry. I take it back.
Yeah. Sorry, we're not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
So next week is Halloween week.
Is
so
it?
we are going to be doing a horror manga.
What?
But we aren't going to say what it is until Dr. Dazzle reads it, and you guys get to guess in the chat.
I have no idea what it is. I'm not gonna look at the chat because I want to guess myself.
Yeah.
And
your
I
eyes.
won't choke this time.
I love it when you choke.
Weird.
Aaron.
Anyway,
Stopped. I realized. Okay.
middle school second year, Amano Yukiteru is a boy who has problem making friends. He thinks of himself as a bystander who will always write down everything he sees in a cell phone diary. Tormented by solitude, Yukiteru begins to imagine things like a friend called Deus Ex Machina, who apparently the lord of time and space. Seeing Yukiteru's miserable state, Deus gives him a new ability. His diary will now record events as it happens in the near future. Yukiteru is then forced to participate in the game whose winner will become Deus' successor.
I can tell Yoku's really excited about it.
Yuki-kun!
Hey guys, that's scary, guys. Oh man.
Yes, we had numerous people.
Diary.
Have you read it? Have you watched it?
I've read it and I've watched it.
Did you not like it?
Like, it's good. I like it. I actually like it. Surprisingly, I like it. But I've already read it and watched it not too long ago. So
then you're ready.
Next time you should show up to the planning meetings.
I was there.
No, he was there. Remember, penis, boobs. I think
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
did,
we're all there.
Different
We
colors.
were all
guys.
there for that one.
Yeah.
Guys, I can't believe you forget such important moments of our career.
Of our manga pod.
I'm sleeping.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
to
next,
diary it is, right?
Yes. So next week we are reading. I almost said Magi again because I have the Wikipedia
I wish.
pulled up.
Weird.
But yes, next week we are going to be reading Future Diary. I'm trying to pull up right now. Dazza, do you have it pulled up? How
Wait,
many
it's chapter 1 to 26.
Oh, awesome. That's not too long. But
Yeah,
yes.
they're long chapters.
They're
So
long
that's-
chapters.
They're
that's
not
true.
super long chapters. They're like mid-long chapters. They're like in the 30s.
There's the 40. So that's what we're reading for Halloween. Diving into some
Yay!
horror manga.
I do gotta say it's a good one for Halloween.
It's a very good one for Halloween.
It's a pretty good one. Like the first time I read it, I was mind blown. So
I will say the first time I watched, I only got through like the first 5 episodes, I think, before I like got distracted by other stuff. But I couldn't sleep after I watched the
It's a creepy one. It is.
It's terrifying.
Oh, good.
So prepare yourselves for that, dudes. Yeah. So hi, I'm HappiLeeErin. Ah!
He's looking.
So cute. That is so freaking cute.
He looks up every time.
Aw.
Oh, she
stop
didn't
that.
do it that time. But oh my god, that was so cute.
I was like, she gonna look up again?
Oh,
Look up again?
that was
Anyway.
adorable. But yes, I am Erin of HappiLeeErin. I do anime reviews and first impressions, and I've started doing weekly episode reviews of Kuroko no Basket, but I also just do first impressions of new series coming out each fall and stuff like that. So if you want to check out my stuff, it is all HappiLeeErin. Twitter, Hummingbird, Crunchyroll, Instagram, Facebook, all of that is all HappiLeeErin. So you can come check me out there, talk to me about Kuroko no Basket and otters. That's what I like to do. And pumpkin spice lattes. Crendor. Crendor. Crendor.
I am Dodger of youtube.com/press start to continue, where I do gameplay and a weekly gaming news show every Saturday. I also have dexterity bonus, where I sit around and drink coffee and tell you about my day while my cats try to eat my food. And I'm on youtube.com/Polaris quite a bit, so if you ever wanted to hang out there. I'm Dex Bonus on pretty much every form of social media, so feel free to follow me and hang out because I all caps about TV shows and video games, and it's fun. That's it.
Huzzah!
Kuchu! Kucha!
Put-a-jaw!
Kuchi poo boops!
Tits!
How long is that gonna go on for?
Till you start speaking.
All right. All right. All right. I'll start speaking. All right. I'm Yokurama of Yokurama Game Talk on YouTube.
Where he doesn't talk about games.
Yep. You guys have got that right. I talk about anime, manga sometimes. I also have another channel on YouTube called Yokurama News, where I do episode reviews, first impressions, anime news once in a while. Sometimes, eventually, I will do more. And on Twitter, I'm at Yokurama Talks, and everywhere else, like Hummingbird, Tumblr, Facebook fan page. I probably have other places that I don't even know anymore. I'm either Yokurama or Yokurama Talks, so just use that information to find me. I'm like, you guys are like detectives, and I'm giving you clues.
It's beautiful.
That was perfect.
I'm done.
Dr. Dazzy?
I am
Razzie
Dr.
Dazzy?
Dazza. I am Dr. Dazza from Flying for Nippon. You can find me at youtube.com/Flying for Nippon, where I do anime reviews, anime stuff, and general anime coverage, where it's going to be awesome, and anime. I have a second channel called the Dr. Dazza, where I put up all my crap as well, so you can check that out if you like crap. Crap's good.
I love crap.
Yeah.
Crap's pretty good.
I also have a Twitter, which is at Dr. Dazza. I tweet about things at the moment. My main focus on Twitter is Pokemon, so you can read about my adventures in Kalos and stuff. It's fun. I have Instagram, which is Dr. Dazza. I have Hummingbird, which is Dr. Dazza, and pretty much everything else is Dr. Dazza. So, boom.
Oh.
Uh,
Well, bye. Oh no, you got your Pokemon. Wait, guys, look at Dickie. Look at Dickie. Oh.
By the way, I wanted to show off a little bit.
He got
You're too
fired.
pixelated. You're too pixelated.
I don't know what that means. What is this?
But
He
people,
got he
people know what this means.
yeah, I know
Even
what
if
it
I'm
means.
pixelated.
Oh my
He
god,
got-
Yoko, I'm
got-
so jealous.
All
He
right.
bought two 3DS XLs, which are the two Pokemon ones.
Why?
I got no idea why he did that.
It's called an investment, all right?
You had a 3DS. Why'd you buy two more?
No, I don't.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying that like Pokemon's awesome. That was my point.
But Monster Hunter is better.
If you would also like to find more MangaPod, we are on Reddit and iTunes.
Are we?
Where you can go reddit.com/r/mangapod for all your Reddit and MangaPod needs.
You can find our schedule, and you can find threads, and you can talk about your feelings.
Yeah, or
You can
post
put-
gifs.
You can post GIFs that represent how you felt reading a manga.
Yeah, or
You can
recommend
just-
us manga.
There's like no limit of things you can do on there. No.
Well, there is a limit. You got to keep it in topic, or I ban you. But yeah, you can pretty much post about anything.
Dazza ruins everything.
I do.
Dazzy, you have too much power.
The power. That's smooth.
Yes, okay, well that wraps it up for our second Magi Manga Pod. We thank you guys so much for joining us live and for watching the VOD of this on my channel. If that's where you're watching it, we just love you guys so much. Yes.
And if you're listening on iTunes, yay!
yeah, we also like you.
Like,
have to
this
go.
is very exclusive because
I
there's
have
probably
to
like
go. Bye.
there's like two people
love
that
you guys.
listen to us on
Bye.
iTunes.
Yes, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be here
Bye,
next. Bye. We'll be here next week, same time, same place, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard
Should we leave already?
Time. Twitch.tv/HappiLeeErin. Yeah, I think something happened with her cats or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yes, see you guys next week. Mirai Nikki, we love you guys so much. Bye bye.
Peace.